Hey, how are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing good. Did you know, and I was thinking about this, and this is very important, that we are constantly absorbing energy. We don't actually like reflect energy. That's important. You know, for you to get to your full potential, you have to know who or what you are. Some people say, "Oh man, I know myself, bro. My name is John. My name is Mark." Nah, that's not you, man. Uh-uh. That's not even you, brother. That's not even you, sister. That's not you at all. That's just a role assigned to you. Okay, we talk about vibrations and frequencies and energy. Once you start to experience that the material world is just a subjective world that's derived from a world of invisible energetic particles, you're actually energetic beings of light. Listen, when someone can get that, whoever can get that, they'll change the game um, in their lives. They'll be able to really create whatever they want because it opens up new levels of consciousness awareness. It opens up a new level of heightened intuition. And then the next one too is when someone understands that, and this is what you got to accept, man, that we are walking programs. Your ego has this pride thing. I'm not a program. I'm an individual. I can think, I can reason. Don't you dare call me a program. I got news for you. All of you are programs, even me. Every single person on the entire planet is a program, is running through a simulated world. By the way, all of this isn't even here. It's non-local. Some of you may be looking at me like, damn, what is this guy talking about, man? This guy's not making any sense, man. I'm not going to make sense to those who don't understand the deeper aspect, but I'm going to make sense to those who are awake, and whoever found this video found you. That's just going to make sense to you. Because when I start to show you what it is, you're going to be like, wow. So all of this is non-local. So what does that mean? It means that you and I, the true origin of all of this is not even here. The universe isn't here. It's being projected somewhere else. You and I are projections. Man, but I feel real. I'm touching myself. Look at my hands. I'm this, that. I can have my senses. I can do this. I can feel it. What do you mean I'm a projection? What do you mean I'm a program? I can think, right? I can walk. I can reason. You don't understand, man. So let me help you, and let me help you to understand. Let me help you this. Let me show you something. When you get up in the morning and you do your thing, you are running on a program. Your subconscious is so powerful. So for those who understand this, for those who understand that they are a program and that 95% of their lives are programs, those are the people, those are individuals that will free themselves from what I call the matrix. That's all it is. We are constantly being downloaded with information. Information in the form of microparticles, information in the form of light, photons. These information, when they get into your cells, they transfer into electrochemical signals, but yet they are still information. And these electrochemical signals become information. Your brain's neurons and synapses processes these things through different forms in your nervous system, lymphatic system, all type of different systems that you produce in your gut. And when it processes this information now, you get to feel and sense it through the senses that primarily control your life, your brain. Here's a fact about the brain that you need to know. The brain is only focused on keeping you alive. The brain has no objective purpose to make you happy, to make you successful. All that is irrelevant to the brain. The brain doesn't care about any of that. Happiness, peace, tranquility, none of that. is a factor in the human brain. None of it. Happiness, peace, neutrality, all those you have to tap into from a different level of consciousness. See, the brain uses the frontal cortex or the logical mind to interpret this stuff. When you can get below that or above that, then that's when you'll find peace, success, happiness. I mean, you'll find whatever you're looking for because it exists outside of the basic brain chemistry. You see how that works? All the stuff you want, you have to go another level. You got to go somewhere else. And this is where you have to enter into the unconscious world. So if you're smart, start making your subconscious conscious. You know what I mean by that? Just like you're aware of everyday things, you have to bring awareness to your subconscious so you could process it as an awareness. Because right now our subconscious is under the radar. It's running the show. It's telling us what to do. And listen, a matter of fact, a lot of the programs that all of us have been downloaded and stored with, even though some of we are adults, right? Many of you like older adults, right? You still have a program from a kid. That program is stuck there. Someone asked me, but how? But how do you make the subconscious conscious? Great question. First thing, the first way to make your subconscious conscious is to be aware that you are a program. If you're not aware you're a program, it's going to be hard to make your subconscious conscious because your mind is going to tune it out and say it's not true. And your subconscious is even going to elaborate a reality to show you that it's not true because your subconscious is so logical. So the first step to make it aware is to understand your program. And you can find evidence of this because the study of epidemiology and neuroscience. We understand the cellular component through our genes and our DNA, and we see how our DNA works, and we understand that information is always out there, and the information gets processed into the unconscious because the unconscious is so structurally adapted to processing information in such a huge quantity. It has no, you can't store it. It can't be capped. It's just infinite amounts of storage space in that world. And in that world, that information we get, the subconscious will decode it and actually place it into every cell in your entire body. Think about that. How many cells you have in your body? Billions, trillions maybe. Every single cell in your body is like a community of one. And that's just all the cells, they go like, oh, who's commanding us? The subconscious. Why do you think it's such a mystery when people are trying to find out what's the placebo effect? They can't figure that stuff out, man. They don't even know. All they can tell you is, every time they come out with a new drug for therapy or anything like that, they always do two trials. They have a trial where they have the actual pharmaceutical drug, and they have another trial where they give people like a sugar pill, placebo. Did you know that? So that means the people that they are led to believe that they're taking this pill, but it's a sugar pill. But to show you how powerful the mind and the cells in their bodies are, they buy into it, and the cells obey it, and they give them the results they want. That's right. Mind over matter. Who said that there? Bro, 1995. Yeah, man. It's fascinating stuff. Once you start to open yourself to new knowledge and awareness, the whole world changes for you. How about this one, man? How about the fact that the only reason you are aware of who you are is a trickery of hallucinations. You know what? You hear people say you hallucinate, right? So when people think about hallucination, they think about like mad mushrooms and tripping and all that stuff, right? Right? But check this out, man. Every single day of your entire life, you are hallucinating your reality. You're on a mind trip every single. your brain actually hallucinates reality. They're not going to tell you the word. They're not going to use the word hallucinate because they want to get it away, because hallucinate has such a bad effect. It says, "Oh, you're conjuring," but that's all the world is. Everything is made up. We are making up our own image and our own stuff, right? And we know that with the laws of quantum physics, that uh, an atom will always have the components: an electron, a proton, a neutron. An atom will have a particle as a photon, light, that emits to the atom. You, your body, your cells, inside your brain, you have protons, neutrons, and they spin up and they spin down in the brain fluid. And because they spin up and they spin down, they're entangled. You have a quantum entanglement. That entanglement now shows that nothing is local and everything is connected. How can everything be connected? The only way everything can be connected is that everything is nothing. You gotta catch that one. The only way everything is connected, everything is nothing. It means that you're connected to a building, you're connected to the closest star, you're connected to the farthest star. How is that? That's impossible in the logical mind. But yet in physics, we now know that is a fact. Therefore, it's like you are the universe playing a role here. And because you're doing that, what happens is this. You have awareness. It's called consciousness. That's right, my friend. Someone says you are the all but nothing. Well said. You are this awareness. And I'm going to show you how you can use this. With this knowledge information, you can use this to manifest and create your life, the life of your dreams. Because once you get this stuff, you'll never see and think of life the same way again. Because now you're what's the word? You're awakened, right? Now you're awakened. So look, within your awareness. So when I get up in the morning, for example, or what I do, I view myself as I or Mark. That's just my ego mind doing it. I am aware of that now. But what I'm truly aware of is that I am not this Mark. What I am is the awareness of this Mark. I am aware not only of this Mark, but I am aware of the entire spectrum of the universe. I am aware of everything that's going on. The only thing that I know that I can sure point this is my awareness to what's going on. The only thing that you know that you can point to is the awareness of what's going on today, right this moment. You cannot be aware of what's going on tomorrow or yesterday, because all those are products of the mind imagination. Those are things that are projecting. They're not right in this very space of time or this moment of right now. So the consciousness, so here's the reason why you feel who you are. And this is just research that has been done on this. Fascinating. This is fascinating here. But this is actually pretty cool. So the reason why people feel awareness is because when consciousness enters the brain picks up that energy and it translates it into a being called you. Yeah, got it, my friend. You are the actor, the director of your movie. Well, when you tell people this stuff, a lot of it goes over their heads. A lot of people resonate with it. A lot of them don't believe it. And it's a product of, it's a lot of things that happen. It's because you've been programmed, you're in the matrix, you're seeing the physical world, and you're inundated with so much stuff going on in your life, so you don't really look at this. And the main issue is people say to themselves, well, it sounds all fancy and good stuff, but how can this help me to change my life now? Man, this is immense knowledge. This could change your life right now. Did you just hear, hold on, who's this here? Who's it? 1995, right? He just commented. He says, you are the actor and the director of your movie. Listen to that. That's what's actually, this is what this is about. So when someone says, man, all the fancy jargon, man, you're talking all this stuff, bro. Like, well, how's that going to help me pay my bill, man? How's that going to help me to get healthy? How's that going to put food on my table? How's that going to get my business going? How's that? My friend, listen again. You are the actor and the director. This is a movie. You are self-generating a projection in your head. If you can only become aware of that, that's when you can change the game, man. We can use physics to back this up so I can help you to get a better perception of this stuff. So let's take a trip into the world of that stuff, all right? Within your cells are the tiniest components that make everything up. We call them particles, quantized quantum particles of atoms, neutrinos, whatever, okay? Those particles, they absorb what's called photon light. Light gives you your physique, your shape, everything you are. You are light. Light is transparent. The only reason you see yourself as a physical being, now we have to go into the laws of vibration and frequency. The only reason you see yourself as this physical being is because of the different structural density of the vibrational patterns of these frequencies. In other words, these frequencies vibrate at different rates. So fast, it looks solid. So slow, it looks liquid, gas, da-da-da. Your brain does a great job of comprising and putting this stuff together to make you believe you are like this real thing going on here. But the actual truth, guys, is you're so much more powerful than you can ever imagine if only you can accept and understand who you are. So let's say, okay, man, you get this information. You say, all right, man, okay, I'm going to accept this stuff. What's the next step, man? How do I get, what's the next step to use this? Well, there's two parts of this step. The first part of this step is once you understand this, then you, okay, if someone gets this, they're going to understand it. All right, man. So if I understand this stuff, where does most of my world come from? Someone says it here. Where does most of your world come from? Can someone answer that? Well, you already did. This guy is, what is this, 1995. Very good. You know your stuff. Most of the world comes from your imagination. Your imagination, not their. In other words, your personal world or whatever you're experiencing is based on your unique view of the world in your head. That's called our imagination, right? Mark, how did you acquire all this knowledge and wisdom? Because I'm tapped in. When you're tapped in, you channel this information right from the superconscious mind, superconscious, and then your higher self. Actually, from your higher self. So all this information I've got just come down. And people ask me, man, did you go to school for quantum physics and neurology? Nope. All of this stuff I just downloaded. I'm interested in this stuff, but it just comes to me. So, where does the world come from? The world is the mind, right? So if you understand this, you don't change the world first. That's the first mistake you do. You never change the world because the world is already effect from a previous cause. You have to change the cause of the world. The cause of everything in your world, it comes down to one thing: perception of your mental aptitude in the mind, your imagination, man. How do you see yourself, and what do you see yourself doing, and how do you see your world? That's the first one. The second component, now it ties into your unconscious mind. So once you could get the image to contact the subconscious, world creates. You catch that? Once you get the image to connect, keyword connect, the subconscious, world changes. Some people, most people, well, majority of individuals, they can get the first one. They can get the image. A lot of people can do visualizing, but they never get it to connect to the subconscious. Someone says, you're good, you're 1995. You have to repeat the process. Yes, you know your stuff. Bra 195. You're good, man. You know your stuff. Alright. So 3 components. Project it, connect it, expect it. Project it, connect it, expect it. Project it, connect it, expect it. PCE. Okay? PCE. Project, connect, expect. Write that down. That's your formula. PCE. Mark, this is all I learned from you behind the scenes. Thanks, man. You learned a lot, brother. You got this. Your life will change now. So let me explain to you: project it, connect it, expect it. So you have to, all listen now. All three have to flow in order to get this stuff to work. PCE, write that down. Project, connect, expect. If you have vision boards, write it on top of your vision boards, write it in your phone, because this is those three components take every single thing about manifesting. Anything about manifesting. It boils down to that. Anything you could think of, it takes quantum physics, it takes all that stuff. You can put selected, projected. Yep. Selected basically means decided. Or you can put spec. I like that. Select, project, expect, collect. I love that. Spec is good as well. All right. So projected, okay, is the imagination part of it. Okay. Then connected is when you impress the subconscious, and expected is when it's a physical manifestation. So let's go to the one that people mess up a lot, the connection part. The connection part is the most critical part. So here's what most people do when it comes to manifesting or creating, because they watch a lot of stuff out there on manifesting, and there's good stuff out there, and the most important thing you all probably know is like visualize. I cannot tell you how important it is to visualize. I mean, if you watch my content and you know my story, that has been very successful in me winning the lottery a lot of times, like good money in the lottery, and a lot of stuff I do with that. So I am an avid supporter of visualizing, because I know it worked in my personal life. Whew, it took me to the next level. So I'm a component of that. So with the visualizing, I give you some advice. Start to become good at visualizing. I was speaking with Cynthia Stafford. Everyone knows who Cynthia Stafford is, right? Had her on Instagram. We were on a live together, and did you know her? She won the 112 or was 110, 112 million dollars in the Mega Millions a few years back, and she did it through visualizing, right? She visualized the exact amount money that she won. It was 110, whatever it was, and then she bought the one ticket, and she won that. That cannot be luck. It cannot be coincidence. None of that exists. That is someone that project, connect, expected it, and it's through visualizing. And I was talking to her, and she says, "You know what? You have to." She said something very important when I was talking to her. She said, "You have to make your visualizing a side job, like your side hustle, because you really have to become good at it." I thought that was very profound, because we all can visualize, but there's no programs, there's nothing in school that emphasizes and teaches people how to stretch their imagination and how to visualize it. I mean, I researched it. I was like, wow, there's no curriculum, there's no courses, there's nothing in the educational system that shows people how to expand the awareness and the imagination of their brain. There's nothing out there that does that. Even kids, man, I was surprised in kindergarten, preschool, there is no program that specifies enhancing the brain's ability to see images and create this feeling of what they want. None of that is out there, guys. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. It's not out there. Why isn't it out there when in physics we now know the power of visualizing? We now know that what you see in the mind becomes real. We now know in quantum physics, we now know that reality is generated through thought processes, which are an electromagnetic field of energy which incorporates with light photons. These photons fly up into the visionary cortex, goes all into your brain, lights it up. The brain takes the light. The brain breaks the information of light. See how powerful your brain is. Breaks light down into chemical signals become reality, man. And I'm like, man. I was like, okay, so this is why this stuff isn't focused on like that. Because if more people would start to visualize and make it like their side hustle or make it their side job, there'll be so much success. Maybe the system would collapse, because people would just be creating their dream life. They wouldn't have to be stuck. So, and then there would be a lot of control loss, and I mean, you figure it out. There could be a whole bunch of stuff that could go wrong if this stuff has become like a mainstream stuff. So this is why this stuff is shoved in the background, and it's like we're gonna suppress it. They're not gonna suppress it, but they're gonna leave it, but they're gonna throw all type of other stuff to distract you from seeing it. They're like, okay, the only way you're gonna notice is if you really want to notice. That's how they put it out there. They say, all right, I know the truth, but I'm not gonna spread the truth. They're like, you find it, great for you. You don't find it, you're just gonna keep doing what I want you to do. That's basically how it's set up. So, I recommend everyone here should make every night, whenever, spend 15 minutes a day, man, practicing visualization. If you don't, listen, let me tell you something about visualization. Look, I won the lottery a lot of times visualizing. A lot of money. You know my story. I bought a car that I visualized. I specifically select what I wanted. I visualized it, and I won it, and I bought the exact car, and it came out the exact way to a T that I visualized it. That should wake you up. And I did it again. After that, I did it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Go look at my YouTube channel. Go look. You see all the videos up there. You see all the evidence up there. And I continue to do it today, again and again and again. I've gotten so good at visualizing that I could go to sleep, and you can get just good too. I could go to sleep, and I could think of something for 2 minutes, and in a few days, in a few weeks, it appears in my physical reality. I literally do that. Because just like your body is a muscle, you train it, there's certain parts of your mind you can get good at. So everyone here, you can get good at visualizing. Even right now, some people say, well, Mark, I can't see the image. Okay. Practice, you'll get it. It's important to practice. Someone asked me here, is it important to write down the things that we visualize? Not at all. You don't have to write it down. The only way you write down things is if there's a condition where some individuals cannot visualize. So if you cannot visualize, aphantasia I think it's called, then it's best for you to script it down. But guys, I didn't write anything down, man, when I visualized, when I won the lottery and all the stuff I didn't write anything down. The only thing I did was, because we're in the age of video, I vlogged it. I used to make a video of myself on my phone talking about after I won the lottery and after I got the car. I used to make a video of me already pre-winning and just talking about like I have it. That's what I did. I never wrote it down, but I used to watch the video of myself like daily, like sitting there like I made a video like it's already happened. I would speak in the present tense of something already done. So the visualizing aspect is very important, so get good at that. Alright, so once you get good at the visualizing, now here's this next component now. Get good at the subconscious acceptance. You need both of them to work, okay? Both of them got to work. It can't be visualizing alone. Got to be subconscious. So keep that in mind. So you got to do two things, okay? If I would put them on a scale of like, you say, oh, Mark, man, this is going to take too much. Think about what you want, man. Is it worth it? Powerball drawing was suspicious. No, what actually happened with the Powerball drawing, guys, is because they had so many people buying it. A lot of the states are late in tallying up their drawings, so that's why it's delayed. That's going to happen when you have, I think it's going to be like 2 billion coming up. So whenever they have that, they're going to take extra security. So they're making sure that all the states are tallying up their numbers, and that's why it's taking a delay. So it's going to be probably like later on this evening you'll see the results. But yeah, it's not suspicious. All right, now let's go into, yeah, Google Cynthia Stafford if you don't know who she is. Um, okay, so we got the visualizing, right? Now let's go into the next component, the subconscious mind. So once I can visualize something, the key now is when I get good, when you get good at visualizing, guys, here's what I mean by good. By being good at visualizing, it means that you can maintain an image for longer than 5 minutes. That's when you're good. That means you have the ability, so your mind don't come in and kick you out. You can stay in that picture for at least 5 minutes. That's when you know you become good at visualizing. When you start to visualize at first, your ego is going to jump in a lot and try to like mess you up. Like, what are you doing? So that's the only key. Once you start to visualize, you find yourself like, oh man, I've been visualizing for 10 minutes. Now you're good. I'll give you a tip about visualizing. Whenever you're going to visualize something, it's so easy. See, the universe makes it so easy for you to. Whenever you're going to visualize something, you never have to visualize a beginning, a middle. Isn't that wonderful? Whenever you visualize right to the end. When I did the lottery thing, won the lottery, I visualized, put myself already in there. Driving my car, have the ticket says top prize. I just went to the end of it. I didn't have to go through any loops. You do the same thing. Someone asked me here, is there a better time than other times to visualize? Answer is nope. I'll put an asterisk in there. The best time for you to visualize is when you're at your most relaxed state. So usually people most relaxed state are before going to bed. But you can visualize any time, whatever time makes you feel relaxed. Okay, so when you visualize in the end. And also when you visualize, don't try to focus on emotions. I know this is weird because people say emotions. Let me show you something about the mind and the brain, guys. This is coming from my experience. Whenever you're visualizing something, your body will automatically adopt a emotion. You'll never have to slow for the emotion because when you're in it, all parts of your bodies are in it. Your nervous system, your subconscious, that you'll feel an emotion, man. So you don't have to try to. If you're trying to visualize emotions, you're just doing emotions. Don't do that. Some of us are naturally emotional. Some of us may just have good emotions and may come up like good stuff. But whenever you're going to visualize to the end, and then whenever you're going to visualize, you want to make sure you do what I call common sense visualization. Common sense visualization is, okay, man, I want a house. So what's common sense? What kind of house I want? 4-bedroom, 2-bedroom? I got to put some furniture in my house, right? What else I got to put? Do I have carpet or tile? That's common sense visualization. That's how you visualize stuff. Give a little detail. You don't have to go super detailed. So once you get good at that, and you should start to do that, make that your side job, man, because it's going to pay off immensely. Trust me. It's going to pay off 100% because that's the laws of the universe. It cannot fail. So once you do that, then we go into the subconscious now. So what we do is, so how do I get that to my subconscious? Repeat your visualization as often as possible without being attached to it. I got to repeat that. You have to repeat your visualization as often as possible without getting attached. Keyword attach. Can you visualize more than one? You can visualize as many things as you want. Oh, let me go into that process. Forgot to mention that too. You can actually visualize 50, 60, whatever your mind can comprehend things at the same time. Here's what you do. You break them up into scenes. One scene is your lottery scene, if that's what you want. Next scene is your business scene, if that's what you want. The next scene is totally different. You're on vacation, you're buying a house. You go scene to scene to scene to scene. It don't have to make sense. You could go flip back and forth. That's the beauty of all this stuff. Because we're dealing with a mind that will organize all of this at the right time, which is your subconscious. It's coming from your higher self, actually, to the subconscious. You see how that works? So once we start to visualize, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to repeat our process, and we're going to do it. And to give you a tip so you don't get attached to it, is you have to do it with the mindset that this is just a fun way to make me distract my mind and make me feel and live in my dreams and make me feel good. That's what you're going to have to convince your ego. Because if you don't do that, your ego is going to try to get you attached to that stuff. And you know what attachment is? No, no, no. Attachment is no good when it comes to manifesting. That's one of the don'ts you ever want to get caught up with. Attachment. Attachment will create resistance. Resistance will create delays of your manifestation. So we want to stay away from the attachment part. So once you start to do that and you don't have the attachment, now the subconscious will start to pay attention. Subconscious will start to notice, like, all right, I see you talking to me here. I'm open now. Once the subconscious gets open, it's going to accept your new information. Once it accepts the information, it now becomes a part of your program. Yes, let go and allow, and don't expect. Now you got to expect it, but don't look for it, so to speak. Just know it's going to come. Let go and allow. So once the subconscious gets information, it becomes a part of your program. Remember in the beginning, I talked about this. I said, we are all programs. So, okay, once the subconscious accepts it, becomes a part of your program. What's the next step? So once it does that, behind the scenes, and this is where you can't see this, because remember, your subconscious is below your consciousness. You're not going to be aware of this stuff. But behind the scenes, your subconscious will be working all times to create the avenue for you to experience the stuff you want. In your conscious mind, you're not going to see anything happening. You're going to be don't look. You're not going to see, you're going to like, man, what's going to happen? Now, what will happen in the conscious mind now is, because whenever things are going to be created in the universe will always show you some signs. So this is where, now you may see some synchronicities. This is where you may see some signs, man. And these are good indications. These keep your spirit up to know that, okay, it's about to come in. Okay? Once you understand that, once you do that, the next component now is the subconscious is behind there working, and then one day, bam, it comes out of the blue and you manifest it. That's how it works. See how that works? Does that make sense now? Exactly. It will come when you least expect it. That's why I always say, don't look for it, but you can expect it. Someone asked me, should I close my eyes when you visualize? I do. I close my eyes, but the thing is, when you're going to get so good at this, you can visualize with your eyes open. I could stand right now and I could visualize something. And I could go into like a daydream state, where you just feel like you're daydreaming. And then you come in. Look, there is now scientific evidence to back up all of this. This is not a hulu philosophy or a metaphysical thing now. This is an actual factual, scientific process. We now know that visualizing affects reality, because the mind sees images and images become the world. We know that now, and we know that because of the beauty of quantum physics. Meditation is important as well. Meditation is what will get you in that state, to be calm and to get it in there. So 3 Magic Words is a book. You speak in the same skills, meditation, keep posting, pushing that knowledge. Thank you. So I could explain to you a little bit about the science of all this stuff and how it becomes in the material world. Because what happens is, every single person here, we are programs, right? And because we are programs, we are information. The information is called qubits. It's like pixels. So you and I are like a pixel, but our pixels come together and we see our form. In quantum term, that is called qubits. So because you and I are information, we are constantly exchanging between the universe. So what happens is, whenever I put an image in my head, I'm putting information into my brain. What is my brain good at? Processing information. So what happens is the information comes into my mind as light, photons, frequencies. When that information comes into my head as a visual aspect of what I'm seeing, my brain takes that information and it turns it into what's called electrochemical signals. This is where I get the rush of emotions. This is where I feel the tingling on my finger, the goosebumps, because the image that just went into my mind has been converted to a physiological stimuli, which I feel as a part of my body. Okay? Once I feel that part, that's called emotion, energy in motion. That emotion is now transferred to my unconscious mind. My unconscious mind now decodes that emotion and the image as a reality, as a physical, perceived physical thing. So while I'm doing this, the subconscious now is looking to make my thoughts become congruent with my world. So if I was, let's say I'm visualizing a new house, and let's say I lived in like a studio apartment, and I want a new home. So while I'm in reality, in the physical present world, I'm in the studio apartment. According to my subconscious, when I press it, I'm already in this new home. But what happens is I'm not experiencing it yet, but my subconscious now has created it. So what's going to happen now? It's going to take what's called time for all the energies to line up, and then one day, before I didn't even recognize it, out of the blue it pops up, and I have the house. But it was already created in the subconscious, and the reason why it was created in the subconscious, because only things can happen in the present moment. And let me tell you why it may look like it takes time for you to get that stuff, but it's actually an illusion. What's actually happening is the subconscious creates so fast and so powerful that it creates instantaneous. But remember, the part of the brain that processes reality is very slow. So while the subconscious is done, it's going to take your brain doop, 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 to process it to become real. That gives you the illusion of time. In other words, your brain is slow at processing information. The subconscious processes it so fast, it's there, the brain has to take time to calculate it. It's like old school computer programs versus new school computers, like download speed. Like when you have high speed internet, you download megabytes like that fast. When you have the Wi-Fi, the low speed, it's downloading like 1, 2, 3, 4, but the high speed is already done. You're waiting to catch up. That's the analogy of the subconscious and the conscious. That delay in speed gives you the illusion of time or distance. Of course, you can manifest better physical health because remember, guys, your subconscious controls the entire cellular system in your body. Your cells, what produces the health? Cells, mitochondria. Mitochondria is your energy storehouse. It gives all the cells in the body the power for you to do what you want. So you can nurse yourself back to health all through visualizing. And I'll give you a good tip about mastering the subconscious as well. What you can also do to use the subconscious when you visualize, you can also start to use ask-formations. Speaking out what you want in a question form is very powerful because it initiates the subconscious to do something for you. Speaking out loud to the subconscious mind. Yes, my friend. And if you make that a habit and you do this daily, you will start to see results in your life. 100%. What happens when you manifest instantly then? We all manifest instantly. The problem is the brain slows up to get it. But I understand your question. So what you're asking me, well, why does it look like I manifest something faster than others? That has to do with your ability to release resistance. So for some people, when they manifest stuff faster than others, it means they don't have a lot of resistance. They don't have a lot of blockages. They don't have a lot of doubt or fear. So when someone manifests something quickly, it's a sign that they have no resistance. If someone manifests things a long time, they have some blocks or some doubts. Also, keep in mind, we manifest things quickly that we think is small. The big stuff, it takes a long time for us to manifest because we put that on a pedestal. So again, remember guys, it's about your perception. Remember in the world of physics, the world of quantum mechanics, in the world of your subconscious mind, there is no big or small, there just is. There's nothing should be bigger than you. If you're making your desires on a pedestal and it's bigger than you, it's going to take a long time to manifest it because that's a lot of resistance. Because the quantum law says you cannot be separate from your desires. You're entangled with that stuff. It's already a part of you. It's in you. It's your perception which is giving you the illusion that it's separate, which causes the resistance in you. That's what causes the long time. I see that every day. Mark, I can manifest the small stuff, man. Mark, I can win like $10, $20 or $50, but why can't I win big stuff on the lottery? Why can't I win like 5,000 on a scratch off, 10,000 to 100,000 on a scratch off? Mark, why can't I manifest a car I want, a house I want? I can manifest the small stuff. That's because you put in the stuff you want on a bigger plateau. Because you're looking at it as big, therefore the mind says that's hard. That's going to take a long time, and that's why you're not going to manifest. You can manifest a penny just as easily as $1 billion. How to release the blocks. That's where you have to go in and change the subconscious program of the blocks you have. Like, you have to understand, you have to watch. If you want to release your blocks, you got to recognize the patterns you have in your life right now. What kind of patterns are you experiencing? Do you notice a lot of self-sabotage? Do you notice when it comes to money, you get like a nervous feeling? We all will know the patterns with our parents. We have these limiting beliefs about money and how things work, and so we'll all recognize the patterns in our life. Once you recognize the pattern in your life, then that's when you can go in and change it in the subconscious. You can practice hypnotherapy. You can do self-hypnosis. You can go see a hypnotherapist. You can do it yourself. You can use auto-hypnosis. Auto-hypnosis, use subliminals every night. There's a lot of ways now you can change your program in the subconscious mind. Okay, someone asks, how do you stop manifesting what you don't want? Okay, it's very simple. To stop manifest what you don't want, focus on what you want. Just change the flow. The reason you manifest what you don't want because you're thinking about what you don't want more. I don't want this. I don't want it to happen. That's what's happening. So if you want to manifest what you don't want, just focus on what you want. I just want health. I just want wealth. I just want prosperity. Just focus on that. What it look like to be healthy. What it look like to this. Don't focus on why it did happen to me. Why didn't it go this way? Why da da da. You're going to manifest more of what you don't want. That's how you fix that. How do I change the financial pattern? When it comes to money, it all boils down to one thing. You have low self-deserving worth. That's point blank. That's what your subconscious mind says about you. So if anyone's out there struggling with money and can't get enough money in their life, and they'll charge you hundreds of thousands of dollars to dissect this or to tell you this, to diagnose this, but I'm going to diagnose it for you and tell you right now. So if you're someone out there and you're struggling with money, it basically means you have a low self-worth in your subconscious mind. Go change it. In other words, your subconscious mind believes you don't deserve it, you're not worthy of it. All stuff when it comes to money. 100%, that's what it is. Even when it comes to love and relationships. If you're constantly getting dumped, if you're constantly getting ghosted, if you're constantly not meeting the right person, not relationship, and you're constantly getting like toxic people, same thing. Your subconscious mind has a faulty map that says you don't deserve it, you're not fully deserving or worthy of it. So love and money will come down to self-worth. And once you fix that, then everything fixes. More and more money comes in your life, better love, better partner, better compatibility. It's also the same way with health. If you don't feel you deserve it or worthy, your health's not going to feel deserving or worthy. So we can backtrack everything to one point. Do I feel deserving of what I want? The best way to manifest anything is visualize. Someone asked me, best way to manifest a special person. Visualize. Got it? How to fix it? You have to reprogram the subconscious, either through hypnotherapy, self-hypnosis, auto-hypnosis, visualizing, projecting it, affirmations. You have to be disciplined at this daily to fix the subconscious. Focus only on what you want. Look, man, I know it's not easy, man, because we're all humans. You're gonna have anxiety, stress in your life. Your body's gonna react different than your mind. I know that. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, well, yeah, it's easy to focus on what you want, but it takes practice. But if you start doing it, you have to literally force your mind to do this stuff, because I know how the mind works. I have a mind just like you, man. There's times and stuff in my life, and I'm wondering, like, man, why is this going on here? Da, 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 da. But I already know the truth. I shouldn't be doing that, but yet my mind does it. But I have to come back and take my mind away from that, because your mind will love to focus on why it didn't work, why it happened. And when it goes to that, then it shows you the worst of like, this is going to happen next. What if this happened? You don't want to get into that game. So force your mind and just say, listen, I don't want that, man. I only want to see this. What would this look like? I remember when I was like this. Do that. You got to force it. Force it. Your mind will doubt you and say, it ain't going to be the same. You're probably not going to get better. Maybe you're going to have to live like this. You're going to have to change your life. Da-da-da. You got to... Right? That's right. Who's this here? When it comes to the TikTok lives here, Stuve. TikTok live, when they put you guys here, the transparency of your names is just so like transparent. And I got shades on. She says our biggest problem is that we get in our own way of our desires. Yep, that's true. That's what it is. We get in our own way through our own mental faculty, our mental thinking. And look, I got to tell you something. It's not going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. Your mind will does that because your mind wants to protect you. I've been through this, man. Listen, there's other stuff in my life that happened that I wanted people to say to me, man, Mark, how did you overcome that stuff, man? You're so cool and calm. I mean, I was cool and calm, but of course I'm going to feel it because the body's going to... See, you can be cool and calm, but there's always going to be a reaction from the body, no matter what happens, especially when you go through stressful stuff. Your body is going to take the stress. So the best thing you can do is to help your body to alleviate the stress to get back in harmony. But if you're going through tough things in your life and traumatic stuff, you're going to be stressed. You're going to get some anxiety. It's just natural human nature. Nobody can ever go into life cool and calm and just traumatic stuff and shut it out. You can do that in the mind. You can say, they can look at you and say, oh man, you're not even upset. Yeah, you can control your emotions, but I'm telling you, your body is going to pick that stuff up and it is going to kick back at you at some point. Maybe 2 months down the line, something started happening and you didn't realize that it was, the reasons happened because 2 months ago, all the stress you were going through, because everything has to have a cause and an effect. So my answer is, what I do now is I keep myself from stressful situations. I disassociate myself from people who... I'll never let people dictate my emotions anymore, and I keep myself away from people who aren't positive or on my level or path. I don't care who it is. I do that because I know that when things happen, it's my body that's going to suffer. Anxiety, stress, wake up in the middle of the night, you in cold sweat, heart racing, feeling like nothing's good. You've all been there. Yes, also very critical. Avoid watching the news, negative stuff. So just to let you know, it's okay. You're human beings. So my advice to you is, you can't avoid stress. Stress is going to be there, but you can learn to deal with it, manage it. You can learn to limit your association. You can learn to put your perspective. You can do all of that. It will at least alleviate because the body is just going to soak it up. That's just how it works, guys. You can't... I can't escape it. No, you see me making videos on positive all the time, but there's things that will happen that I can't even escape it. I'm going to get it as well. Because your body's going to... Remember, the body and the mind are, even though they're connected, but they're separate. The body picks things up too, and the body's going to do its thing. So while the mind is healed, you can get over this mentally. The body's still got to catch up. So your mind is healed. You say, man, come on, man, I'm positive. But every night you're still getting up in the cold sweats. Because your body hasn't adjusted yet. Your body's still taking its time to detox. And this is where you got to be patient, and this is where you got to help your body. And this is where you don't want to become more worrisome, because then you're going to continue the cycle. All right? Yeah. I mean, some of you know, if you watch my channel, you know stuff going on my channel and what stuff happens with me and people there. When people, you know, when you're doing your purpose, there are some people out there that just want to stop you and they get jealous and they want to hate on you. They want to create stuff. Da, da, da. We all know that. You experience that in your life. It's a part of it. It's people do stuff to you all the time. But even though you're mentally strong, your body's still going to react to that stuff. And you mentally will get over it. You be cool and calm. But be warned. Yeah, you may like a month go by, 2 months, all of a sudden you got weird stuff happening in your life, health stuff, da da da. It's your body telling you, like, man, remember those 2 months when you were going through that stress? I'm finally getting it and trying to release it. Even though your mind is cool and you forgot about it and you move on and you're just being positive. So you got to understand the mind and body relation. So when that happens, don't panic. Don't let the body affect the mind. Oh my God, I'm going into a cycle. No, it's just the body has to go through itself. Sometimes it could take months to get the body back. Weeks, it just depends. But don't worry about that. But if you want to limit that stuff, my advice is limit your circle. Focus more on what you want. Eliminate people that are toxic or that's going to pose a threat to your positivity. Keep your circle small. Manage stress. Be positive. Be out in nature. Stay away from the news. Diet. That's my advice. Because it's the world we live in. There are just people out there just going to hate on you for no reason. Haters. People out there going to try to take advantage of your kindness for weakness. They're going to try to use you. They're going to try to. It's all, man. People are going to do everything. That's just the world we live in. Diet, very important. Intermittent fasting is the best way I go. But again, we're all humans, so just be aware. Anxiety, stress, that's normal. It's going to happen normally. Now, limit that though by meditating and focus. You limit it a lot, but a lot of this stuff you can avoid it totally by changing your association and your environment or your perception of people around you, because that's what it all comes down to. Most of the stuff we get in life is people, man. Yeah, what somebody said, what about doing good deeds when you're going through a stalled program? Period. You still gotta do good deeds no matter what's happening. You still gotta do your part. The universe is a self-correcting code. Whatever you do is gonna come back to you. Even when times are rough and tough and you're struggling, whatever, you still gotta do good. Do good. Do good. It's gonna come back to you. Any insights on intermittent fasting, Mark? Yep. Uh, Eat 5 hours before bed. Last meal should be 5 hours before bed. Change your life. Your last meal should be 5 hours before bed. You should eat twice a day. Breakfast, dinner. That's it. Dinner should be 5 hours before bed. Breakfast should be early. That's it. Nothing in between. After that, water and go to bed. If you're healthy to do that. Some people may have conditions such as diabetes or anything. Consult your physician. But if you don't have any of those issues and you can do this, that's my best advice. Work wonders for you, man. That's right, 5 hours. Listen, the majority of your food digested is in your brain. Your brain takes about 20 to 30% to digest the energy. So that means if you're eating and you're going to bed, you're not going to have any brain power, man. Your body's using up all the energy it could be using to manifest and create. And then you're going to get up sluggish. You're going to have a lot of toxins in your brain. So when you can give your brain ample time to just relax. Imagine if you eat 5 hours and your brain is now, your body, the stomach is flushed. There's nothing in it. Now you go to bed at night, man. You're ready to get into that dream world. You're ready to manifest, man. Things are going to be light and fast. You're going to get up more healthy. All the toxins are going to be washed away. Actually reverse your aging. You start to look better. Skin becomes better. Healing. Man, it's a powerful thing, man. They make up this fake food pyramid thing. Don't follow that stuff, man. Breakfast, lunch. The more you eat, it spikes your insulin level. You do not want your insulin spiked. Every meal you take, it spikes your insulin. You know what insulin creates too? Cortisol. What is cortisol? Biggest contributor to stress. When you eat breakfast, it spikes your insulin. So if I eat twice a day, that's only 2 times a spike in my insulin. How many times do you eat a day? People eat like, I'm talking about even if you, let's say you have dinner and you go take a snack, you're spiking your insulin. Every time. Think about that. So that means the average person probably eats 5 to 6 times, man. They eat breakfast, lunchtime, snack in between, snack dinner, snack after. Like 5 times their insulin spikes. Imagine that. The level of cortisol, the level of toxicity, the level of the sugar, the level, man, that goes to a whole bunch of problems. If you know health stuff. Less is more. Someone says, Mark, you always say the universe is a self-correcting code. What do you mean by that? Okay, what do I mean by that? All right. So, I'll give you an analogy like this. Let's say you walk in and there's a nice little pond right there. Okay? And the water is clear. And on the bottom of the water is the mud, but it's still clear. And a fish comes in and the fish squirrels up in the water, and then the clear water becomes muddy, right? But if you sit there and watch, what happens? The mud will go back down and the water becomes clear again. That's what I mean by the universe's self-correcting code. The universe automatically fixes everything back to normal. Whatever someone do to you, the universe is going to come around and fix it. You don't have to do anything. Whatever you're doing something good, the universe is going to take care of you. Doing something bad, it's going to take care of them. The universe is a self-correcting code. That's the easiest analogy I can make you understand that. How can I not pay attention and not be influenced by the negativity of others? By not focusing on it, by not looking at it, by not paying attention to it. You gotta look. There's sometimes in your life, guys, you gonna have to let people go, and you gonna have to like cut your phone off, man. Like when I mean cut your phone off, you gonna have to like go into a mode like for a week or a month, man, and just don't answer anything from people, because you understand people are causing you to stress. You gotta go build yourself back up, man. 2 weeks, whatever it takes. It takes not communicating with someone and they're calling you. After a month or so, call them back and be like, hey, what happened to you? Just tell them, hey, man, I just had to spend some time to build myself up. Nothing wrong with that. You got to protect your health and your mental health, man. That's why I see some people go missing. They go for months because they have to rebuild, because they're so stressed and the people are just stressing them. Why do bad things happen to good people? No, there's no good or bad. It just is. It's duality. Everything that happens to you is not to you. It's for you. That's how you look at this stuff. When you look at bad things and this, you become a victim. So there's no bad thing that happen. I used to think like that. That's going to take you the wrong hole. Everything that happens in my life, it happens for me. It doesn't happen to me. What do I mean? It happens for me because in the long run, it turns out to be something good that could be beneficial be down the line. I couldn't see it at first. But if you have the mindset that everything is happening to me, then the universe is going to show you a victim mentality. The universe is a self-correcting code. It's going to give you what you think. So what I do, I flipped it. I was like, okay, things don't happen to me, they happen for me. And that's been working in my life. So get that out your head and stop being a victim. Why do good things happen to why do good things happen? Why bad things happen to good people? No, and that's gonna keep happening to you because you're telling the universe, make me a victim. Got it? Got it, guys. Well, I'll see you guys again next time. We'll do another fantastic live.